Yes, people, welcome back to Albert JTV. Match review time for the Sunday morning slot with Albert JTV and my brother Ray. But before we get into it to discuss Arsenal's epic win yesterday, let's hit the intro. Footballing community, you should know what to do by now. Like, share, and subscribe. Welcome back to Albert JTV. Social media platform. Know what you're talking about. And what I mean by that is goals, ESR and Saka have done well. They've done okay. They've done well. Yes, people, welcome back to Albert JTV. Like I said before, a very happy Sunday morning. Actually, I'm tired, drained. All those emotions as you could probably understand because I was at the game yesterday. Yeah, so much to digress, man. I've not even got a script, I'll be honest with you. I normally jot things down, but this will be literally off the cuff. But me and Ray can work with that because after yesterday, do you even need a script anymore, people? let's be serious. But yeah, people, obliterate the like button. Yeah, subscribe to Albert JTV and follow my amazing guest on his Twitter handle in the box on the screen. Let me go to the chat quickly. Yes, goal art search, Jamie victory yesterday. Yeah, it was very yes. Jamie is one word I can think of, but there's many others I can think of which I can't say before the watershed, Fran. Guys, yeah, thank you, Fran. Thank you. It doesn't normally happen with me actually, but it unfortunately it does happen. It does happen, but yeah, wow, football, what a game. How can you not love it? It's incredible. Ray, I'm going to ask you how you are. I probably know part of the answers that already, but how are you this morning?
Yeah, I'm very well. Just relieved, mate, to be honest with that. Thank you again for having me. Thank you again for the viewers and the listeners. Hopefully you'll really enjoy this because, man, what a game that was yesterday. Yeah, just so much to unpack, literally every emotion under the sun under there. So yeah, let's do it, mate. Like I say, it's a bit off the cuff today, but we'll run with it.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, there's a slight delay between me and Ray's conversation. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't help technology and where people live. So that's a little bit of an issue, but it's all right. We'll work with it, people. So yeah, Ray, let's get into it. So I think the most obvious place to start with, and I'll start off and I'll come to you. Sort of looking at Arsenal's bounce in recent weeks. Listen, rich vein of form, the confidence win against Villa. But when you sort of dissect our performances, we've had some last minute winners, but let me take it back a little bit. So coming into this game off of the back of Everton, emphatic win, I was confident that Arsenal would get the job done. I was even confident to the point that I thought we'd get a clean sheet. How wrong I was, but what was your thoughts like coming into the game yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, coming into the game, you would have thought it would have been a routine 3 points, really, wouldn't you? Not to underestimate any team in the Prem, but you would have thought let's turn up and let's just win this. And I think that's kind of what the players done as well, because with it was a really lackluster start from us, wasn't it? Credit to Bournemouth actually, because I thought it was a really clever kickoff. I've never really seen a kickoff like that in all my years watching football. So fair play to them. They did come here to have a go at us and to make things happen. And yeah, we hardly got time to settle before we were 1-0 down. It was pretty mental, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, man. I mean, big up to Trev this morning. Trev, get well soon, man. But I know you couldn't care less. Lovely,
yeah,
Trev.
Big up, Trev.
Yeah. I've got Ray. I mean, obviously, like I said, I went to the game yesterday. Wow, what a start! I mean, to say the stadium was shell shocked would be an understatement, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, 9 seconds. I think I was told, I wasn't aware of this at the time. I knew it was quick, the goal. It's the second fastest goal in Premier League history. 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow. Sloppy start. The goal definitely could have been avoided again. this is a reoccurring thing that happens with Arsenal, particularly at home. We do give away some really, really poor goals, gift wrapped. So Gabriel not concentrating or poor mistake, ball goes under his foot and they score and go 1-0 up. So it's big shock, massive, unbelievable start. But I think, Ray, I expected us to have more. I obviously expected us to have more possession, and that was the case. But I think really for the second game running, if you take into account the Villa game in the first, sorry, not the Villa game, sorry, the Everton game in the first half specifically, I don't think we really worked their goalkeeper that many times. What do you think the issue was with that?
The issue, sorry, Albert, you cut out there. The issue with
so I was saying that, for example, when we played Everton, particularly in the first half, again, a lot of possession, but we didn't really create anything. What do you think the main reason was was for?
To be honest, mate, I think it was a bit of nerves. You know, we did look pretty nervous at times, and it looked like we were trying a bit too hard to create the perfect opening. And sometimes when you do,
well, Ray's gone, so I'm going to keep on chatting people until he comes back. But yeah, Arsenal, there seems to be a bit of a reoccurring pattern. I'm gonna take Ray out and I'm gonna bring him back in. No, he's come out anyway. I'll bring him back in. He's gonna come back in. But people, yeah, it's been a reoccurring pattern with Arsenal, really, where I expect us to have a lot of possession, but these teams now, with only 12 games left in the Premier League now, teams are not going to come out and play it. And what didn't help Arsenal yesterday, unfortunately, was the fact that going down 1-0 inside 10 seconds. I mean, as a manager, you can't prepare for something like that. You know, don't get me wrong, Arsenal have got a better we have a better defense than I can think of in a number of years, but there have been a few teething issues, particularly at home, where we're gift wrapping goals. I could go through a number of games this season where that's happened. Was it Leicester, home to Fulham, the game yesterday? There's been other games with gift wrap goals. We need to cut it out because we're now getting to a crux point of the season where we definitely can't play like that against Fulham because Fulham will turn us over. They've been excellent this season. I think Fulham are in 7th place. I think it is. So that's not going to be easy. And defensively, there was a period, I would say probably when we had the mini blip where it wasn't going well. Defensively, it picked up a little bit better, but then it got to a point where, again, we're still conceding needless goals. But let me come to the chat quickly. Yeah, hopefully Ray will come back. Ray, if you get my message, go on your phone, it'd be easier. Yeah, 100%. Always needs must. I think we've got Ray back there. Yes, there he is, man. Raymondo's come back, man. Let me get him back. It's where we miss Jesus break up the low blocks with his crazy movement. Good point, Fran. Right, then bring Ray back in. Yes.
Here we are. Plan B, the iPhone.
Ray, you know what? One time,
not die.
Yeah, audio listeners, Ray has not disappeared from the face of the earth. He is back. Just a few technical issues. So if you wonder where he's gone and why I was chatting to myself, then you know why. But yeah, Ray, so I'm going to come back a little. I was just addressing Arsenal giving away needless goals at home. So yeah, coming back to you. Yeah, you said about it being nerves as to why Arsenal may have started the way they started. Come back in, mate.
Yeah. I thought it was just sort of how we approached it. We just seemed very nervous and tentative about it. Like we were trying to just try too hard, really, and score the perfect goal. So the fact, when you're doing that, there's an expectation with the crowd, isn't there, to just go and blitz these teams, and it doesn't always work like that, and it kind of feeds into the opposition's tactics. So I just think we need to be a bit patient at times. And we just got to realise that, yes, there are teams that are struggling in this league, but certainly towards this stage of the season, they can be quite dangerous because now they have actually something to fight for, whether it be promotions or relegation, or Europe's or anything like that. So, yeah, it's it's always difficult. And yeah, I think certainly it's part of the opposition's tactic to frustrate us.
Yeah, 100%. As I was saying before you went on a technical break, it really doesn't help when you go 1-0 down with inside 10 seconds. I've never seen that before. The quickest goal I've ever seen, I can say that. I think you're right. It was a patience thing. Just to backtracking slightly, did you? I mean, I saw a few grumblings from some of the Arsenal fans in terms of the team lineup that was picked. Did you have? Was there a major issue for you, like Tommy Asu coming in, or was that not really a problem for you, knowing that Eddie was also injured as well? He wasn't there, so.
Yeah, no. To be honest, mate, I saw the lineup and I was actually quite pleased with it. It's
Vieira came in as well. Sorry, Vieira came in as well.
Vieira come in as well for Xhaka. Yeah, I thought if you're going to play Vieira or start Vieira in a Premier League game at home to Bournemouth at 3 p.m. kickoff, is absolutely ideal. So I wasn't. I was happy with that. Tommy Asu, yeah, there's always a bit of question marks over that because we know, not because of Tommy Asu-ness as such, but because of Ben White is such a good player for us.
Yeah.
But you need to get that balance right, don't you, of being able to rotate your squad for all the various games you've got coming up. Certainly with European games, the Sporting Lisbon fixture. So, yeah, I think I'm not going to be wise after the event. At the time, I was very, I was happy with the lineup and what Arteta went with. But yeah, I just think, like I say, unfortunately, we were just sleeping, weren't we, at the start, and Bournemouth had a trick up their sleeves that we just weren't expecting.
Yeah, it was total domination. I think at one point, Arsenal must have been about 80% possession, man. We just had them camped in their half, but yeah, teams can make it difficult, man. Like the way they was set up in that first half after getting the goal to go 1-0, I thought, you know what, if we can get back as quick as we can into the game, which I thought would happen because we concede the goal, shock to the system, try and get back to 1-1 as quick as possible. But they made it hard, man. Like they doubled up on Saka like they normally do. They sat very, very deep, sort of from, their penalty area to, about 10, 15 yards outside of it. It was very difficult to break them down. You saw Trossard and Martinelli trying to interchange, but I don't really, I think the only chance I remember us having, Ray, was with the Erdegaard shot where the keeper saved it. And Saka's obviously tried to put in the rebound and the goalie saved it. I think that's the only notable chance that we did actually create. And sort of, Ray, I agree with you. I didn't have a problem with the team lineup. I think we're at the stage of the season now where we need some of these boys to step up. Yeah, I get it. Like they're not playing regular first team football, i.e. Vieira and Tommy Yasu, the odd game here and there. But I didn't have an issue with it, if I'm being honest with you. Like you said, Bournemouth were struggling, in a relegation battle. They don't exactly prize teams open and score loads of goals. So, I mean, I actually went for Arsenal for a score and winning my betting coupon yesterday. They did it. I think I went 3-1. But yeah, listen, we go into half time. I think for me, Ray, coming back to you, the key thing is we have responded pretty well in second halves. But I thought if we need to, it's important that we try and get this goal in the first 10, 15 minutes. How was you feeling? And obviously we made a couple of subs, mate. We brought on Ben White for half time.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought we could get back into the game. I know what you mean about the chances, the lack of quality chances we created. But I did think that we were dominating in their area and we were getting shots away and we were, carving things open. It's just that final killer ball or pass, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I always felt relatively confident that we could. It's just the earlier the better, isn't it? If you can score just after half time, a little bit like we did in the Leicester game, then it completely changes the dynamic of the rest of the half, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought we could get back into the game. I thought also that Ben White coming on for Tommy Asu was a good change.
Massive.
I do like Tommy Asu, but he had an absolute stinker, didn't he, in the first half? So that was much needed, and it was good to see Smith Rowe come back? I think we might have skipped over a little bit, or you might have mentioned it.
No, I didn't. No, go on.
Yeah, Smith Rowe come on for Trossard, didn't he, in the first half? So, yeah, listen, I was at home to Bournemouth, even though we're 1 down. We've shown some real resilience. We've shown some real character already this season. So it wasn't really a surprise, to me that we got back in the game. It was just a surprise of the circumstances and how we got back into it. That was the mad thing.
Yeah, for me, yeah, it kind of. I don't think at halftime I was talking to some of the guys I sit next to when I normally where I sit. I don't think they was nervous. I just think they thought, you know what? Okay, we had a blip in the first half. We haven't sort of got back into halftime at 1-1. Positive to see the change with Ben White coming on because, like you said, Tommy actually didn't have a great game. I only think Emma Smith Rowe came on. I don't think that was a plan to maybe even play him. No. But Trossard going off like that was a blow. I think that definitely hindered us in the first half. 100% for me. You can see Smith Rowe's not ready, and he's going to need to be eased back in very, very slowly. Hence the reason why. And it's a big call when you sub a sub. Let's be honest. Yeah. But I didn't disagree with it by bringing on. Who did you bring on? I forgot the guy, my Nelson. And in hindsight, with that, maybe you go, okay, maybe a bit more natural width would have been better to come on. But even if Nelson struggled with injuries, five problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ray sort of coming back. So trying to get back into the game. And again, defensively, we give up another goal. Now, I get it. It can happen from set pieces. Someone made a point, actually, because they took so long to take the corner, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. I don't know. I mean, I've never seen someone time waste taking a corner at 1-0 with about half an hour to go. I've never seen that before in my life. But the marking, Ray, oh my God.
Shocking, wasn't it?
I mean, listen, I love Thomas, but you just let him run. Yeah. And before you know it, with 2-0. So, Ray, when that goal goes in, what's your immediate thoughts? And keep it clean. I don't want you to.
Yeah, the marking was absolutely shocking, to be fair. I mean, it was a poor corner. From memory, it was a poor corner. Free kick initially from Thomas Partey that led to the corner that obviously they scored from. Senesi, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yes.
Absolute bullet header, and it's one of those that if you score it, always great. But yeah, the marking was shocking. I did think that Bournemouth looked physically like just generally bigger than us. I don't know whether it's just because Xhaka was out.
Yeah, Billing and the likes of Solanke and they're big lads, man.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, so I never really wanted to get into a battle physically or with set pieces with them because I thought we were just never going to be able to get anything from the game like that. But yeah, like I say, it's just that was Partey's man, in my opinion. I don't know whether we go zone or we go man to man, but it is Thomas Partey's fault that he is just able to run free. And yeah, you wouldn't say, like I say, it was a bullet header. I wouldn't say Ramsdale could have got anywhere near it.
No.
And when that goes in, you're staring down the barrel, aren't you? And I'm thinking, here we go. I've seen this in seasons before. Arsenal getting sucker punched like that, and I was already getting messages coming through, just reminding me of the scoreline. So it was always going to be tough, and we had to dig deep. And like I say, at that point, obviously you'd probably snatch your arm off for a point, wouldn't you? But yeah, it was just really poor defending all round, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, man. Like just to backtrack slightly, by the way, I think massive save by Ramsdale in the first half, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I think that would have been given because it looked offside from where I was, but it wasn't because the linesman didn't flag after the sector play when Ramsdale's made the save. So that was a big save, man. Like I don't think that gets spoken about enough. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, Ray, at the stadium yesterday, when that went in, I thought, wow, we're in trouble. But I also thought in my mind, and I said this yesterday when I did a couple of fan cams, I'll touch on a bit later. But if Arsenal could get if Arsenal could get it back to 2-1, that place is going to be raucous. And it's going to be like it's going to be the start of another Rocky movie with the way to get up. Honestly, it was. We got that goal through Thomas Partey, and then no shock, the goalkeeper goes down with cramp. I've never seen that in my life. A goalkeeper go down with cramp. What is going on here, man? This is ridiculous. But yeah, we get the goal, man. I think it came from a corner. Smith Rowe's put the ball back into a dangerous area, and Thomas Partey did his best not to score because where else the goalkeeper? He hit the target.
He did try. Yeah.
And mate, we're back in the game. And it's I said to the guy next to me, this is game time now. What was your thoughts? We got the goal back. I don't know. I have to double check when we actually got it back from when we conceded. I don't think it's that long ago, but yeah.
I think I've got down here. It was the 62nd minute. I think we scored.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I think we conceded in the 52nd. I think.
There you go. Right. Okay. All right. So, yeah. Your thoughts, man. Game time.
Well, game time, exactly. I did think, look, it was so much needed at that time in the game. And I did think that, 2-0 is one of those really weird scorelines in football, isn't it? Where if you're 2-0 up, and all of a sudden you concede with a certain amount of time left, it can make the game very nervous, and you can just be on the back foot and you think about it and then you just end up conceding. So it is a really weird one, isn't it? Big up to, I believe it's James Bayliss of AFTV. I see a clip of him saying actually that Bournemouth had conceded, had good leads in the past and conceded. So I think, for example, they were 2-0 up against Spurs and ended up losing 3-2.
Yeah, good point.
They were 3-1 up against Leeds and ended up losing 4-3. So they have surrendered good leads before in the past.
Mad.
So, like I say, with the pressure that we were able to put on, and with that goal, I then thought, okay, I think we still had half hour to go, didn't we?
Yeah.
Or something like that, roughly. So I did think that with that in mind, certainly if we kept going, I thought Bournemouth would eventually cave and we might be able to escape with an equaliser.
Yeah, you know what it was? Because obviously the City played earlier in the day at the 12:30 kickoff against Newcastle. I watched the first half before I made my way to the ground. Newcastle had some big chances, man. Big chances in that game. But anyway,
Joe Linton one was massive, wasn't it?
Wilson, long start. Yeah, they had a few. So yeah, the pressure was on, man. And like I said, we'll get it back to 2-1, and it's game time, mate. And it was a good move to get back into. Listen, we persevered, and that's what you do. If you want to show the hallmarks of being champions and having Premier League credential, winning aspirations to win the Premier League, there's going to be squeaky bum time. We're not going to come and blow teams away, unfortunately. Not at this stage of the season. It'd be fantastic, but at this stage of the season, it's about the wins. And you got to find a way to grind it out. Yeah, it's a bit too much for the heart. I'm not getting any younger anymore. We've had some last-minute winners, and it's been an amazing season so far. But yeah, good build-up, man. Reece Nelson came on and made a massive, massive impact. As I mentioned earlier, in hindsight, maybe could have come on before Smith Rowe, but again, both have come back from niggling or persistent long-term injuries. So I can't berate Mikel Arteta for that, if I'm being totally honest. But a good bit of work down Reece Nelson on the left-hand side. And my boy, Benjamin White, gets his first goal for Arsenal. And it was quite way over the line. But yeah, Ray, we get that. And it is more than game time now. It's to try and go and get this winner.
Yeah, very much so. As I mentioned, when you're 2-0 up in games and all of a sudden you concede, you're just, for some reason, naturally on the back foot. It was a really well-worked move, wasn't it? I think Partey was on the edge of the box.
Yes.
He worked really well to find Reece Nelson. And when we don't have a player like an Nketiah or Jesus, a recognised striker as such, you kind of just have to put the ball in an area that's going to cause problems, and you need, good movement from your teammates, don't you? That's exactly what happened. Nelson got his head up, just put the ball towards the back post sort of area, and Ben White ran onto it, and who knows, maybe in another era without goal line technology, that might have gone against us, but thankfully technology is here. probably won't say it very often, but and yeah, Ben White scored his first Arsenal goal. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, it was. And then we still had a bit of time actually when we got it back to 2-2 to come. And I thought, you know what, if we got it back to 2-2, you know, a little 5 minutes bar for that, try and get this third goal, man, and nail this game.
Yeah.
But like I said, we worked good areas. We tried to work the overloads on both flanks with Ben White and Saka, and on the opposite side. Vieira, to me, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't impressed with what I saw yesterday. I actually thought he should have got hooked a lot sooner and brought on Xhaka. I get why he started. I didn't have a problem starting, but yeah, I think he struggled yesterday personally, and didn't have an impact. But Reece Nelson, wow. I think they said he's only played like 64 minutes of Premier League football. He hasn't featured since I think November 12th. But yeah, he came on and he absolutely changed the game. And also got to say as well, I mean, Ray, I've watched football a long time, a long time. And as I like to say, my famous saying, 21 plus VAT. Trevs, if you're watching, mate, we're in the same boat, man. 21 plus VAT, man. But I've seen some games of football, and you know the time wasting by Bournemouth, the goalkeeper, and he actually only got booked. He got booked for dissent. He didn't get booked for time wasting.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. But yeah, the Premier League needs to stamp down on that because that can't continue going into next season. This time waste is crazy. But yeah, Ray, at that point we got it back to 2-2. We're probably thinking, I don't know if confidence is the right word, because I'm not sure you can be when you're watching Arsenal sometimes. But how's you feeling them getting the winner, or you know, with descendancy? How did you feel?
Yeah, I mean, when we scored, I thought, okay, we still had 20 odd minutes to go, so I thought, right, let's do it. Let's go and push for that win. Obviously, as the time gets eaten up and you get towards the end, it just didn't seem like it was going to be our day, did it? You know, we were having opportunities, but yeah, they were just Bournemouth were just dealing with them, and it was just getting really frustrating. So you kind of have to, you know, try and be, you know, glass half full and say, right, well, we've come from 2 down. Yes, we've dropped 2 points, but it's kind of a point gain at the same time. And you're kind of trying to, you know, talk yourself round and say, right, okay, well, you know, we have to write this one off. We have no margin for error now. And yeah, we try and go again. But yeah, like I say, Bournemouth were just every trick in the book, wasn't it? Just a time waste and just to
100%.
just to frustrate and you know, really sort of just run down the clock. So it was frustrating. And yeah, like I say, just as it got closer to the end, I just thought it wasn't going to be our day, mate.
And Ray, we move on to drama. Wow. And I said this to a lot of people, myself at the game yesterday. I think it was, I can't remember who it was. They had a shot at goal and it went, I think it skied over the bar. And at that point, I was like, you know, I'm gone.
I think it's Vieira, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Ray, I was on the stairs. People in the Arsenal chat watching this on Twitter, YouTube, when you watch it back, audio listeners, I was on the stairs. Nelson's got the ball. He struck it unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I genuinely, I was gone. The stadium was unbelievable. I was lucky enough to be at the Emirates when the Danny Welbeck last minute winner against Leicester on Valentine's Day. Scenes. I was there last season when we beat Wolves last minute, Lacazette. Wow, incredible scenes. But that yesterday was something else, man. Wow. I mean, everything was going everywhere. The keys, phone, the chocolate bar in my pocket was on the ground. Everything went. It was. I've not experienced that kind of atmosphere at the Emirates. I have to be honest. That was incredible. I wasn't there for the game this season when we beat United and we beat Liverpool, but that was something else. It was actually quite emotional for a lot of Arsenal fans I spoke to in the stadium, leaving and trying to do fan cams and then talking to. It was incredible. Everyone was hugging them, but it just. Wow, I could see the look of shock and disbelief on Arsenal fans' face leaving that ground in a good way, obviously, in a good way, 100%. Ray, talk me through it, man. how you were seated, how you were standing, whatever you was doing.
Yeah, I was. I just wasn't expecting that to go in. Yeah, I was. I think I was just sort of, you know, when you're just watching it, just sort of
Unfold,
just watching it, but not taking it in, you know.
Yeah.
And you're just sort of there. And I'm thinking, here we go, we get another corner routine. But listen, we've had corner. I think we had 17. It was either 17 or 19 of them in total.
Hell of a lot.
Hell of a lot. And
17,
mate,
yeah,
17, yeah. And I was thinking, here we go. It's just we're gonna play it round a bit in the corner, try and get some sort of ball in, and Bournemouth will probably clear it, or Neto will probably catch it and sit on it for 5 minutes. But yeah, it fell to. I think it come in. I think Neto punched it away.
Yes.
It fell to Nelson on the edge of the box. It actually fell on his left foot, didn't it? It all happened so quickly that it kind of, you know, was a mad movement. But looking back on it, it fell on his weaker foot, and what a hit! What a hit! You know, just outside the box. It might have just been slightly in, on the line anyway.
Wow.
And yeah, I can only imagine the scenes, mate.
Mate, it was. Yeah. I mean, I think Leon's put in the chat. Leon, I'll guess you're 29 years of age. But yeah, I mean, I didn't see the Emirates there. I've said that. I've said the hybrid era, unfortunately. But I mean, I can go by what I've seen at the Emirates, and that was something yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm out with Dan Potts after. We was hugging for about 10 minutes. Honestly, I just couldn't. I didn't want to let him go. It was. Yeah, I mean, coming out Raider Stadium. Well, trying to do a fan cam in the stadium. Well, inside, in the concourse was my voice was gone, but you could probably tell when you see it. But yeah, big up Mo for that, man, opportunity. But and come out by the Tony Adams statue. Wow. I mean, I'm trying to think of words, Ray, but it's quite difficult, to be honest, mate. I was talking to a lot of Arsenal fans at the end. They look exhausted. They look like they needed therapy or counselling. They look gone. I don't know I don't know what else to say to you. It's just I've not experienced a football game like that before.
Well, to win it in a clutch moment at the last minute is just. It doesn't matter who it's against either. By the way, I see celebration police are already out in force trying to arrest people. But yeah, I mean, even when it happened, for that split second, it was just pure joy. You know, I even forgot about VAR. You know, normally when a goal goes in and you go, right, okay, what, you know, you got to wait, and then you can, for like 5 seconds, or that's, you know, I just completely forgot about VAR, and then it's sort of like, oh no, it kicked in, but then it just seemed to, you know, be legit and checked very quickly, didn't it? So just the whole thing, mate.
Amazing.
You know, it was just an incredible moment. And listen, some people might say that it's lucky. Some people might say it's great character. But all I know is that if we are going to go on and win this league, we're going to, you know, teams that do win leagues do have moments like that, don't they? They do.
100%. Well said.
You know, pick points out of nothing. I mean, you mentioned earlier about Villa and Manchester United when we won them late on. You know, in recent seasons, we would have just ended up drawing them games.
Yeah.
And, you know, think back even to possibly Fulham. I think we won that late on as well.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
You know, those 4 games, that's 12 points we've got. You know, and originally we would have got 4, you know. So that just shows the progression to me of this season and where we are and why we are where we are. And, yeah, mate, I'm absolutely delighted with it.
Yeah, I mean, some people tried to call me yesterday, but yeah, that I won't answer it straight away. But I'll tell you that. Yeah, man, it's just one of them ones you soak up the atmosphere. And someone made a good point. Like, you know, we've moaned about, you know, why we came to the Emirates. I'll tell you something. It's moments like that yesterday in isolation. That was incredible. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I've, and you know what it is, right? You make a good point, because I kind of thought this yesterday when I was coming home. I thought, would the narrative be a little bit different? Say, for example, if Man City had been 2-0 down at home to Bournemouth, and they come back and win it in the way they win it, I don't think the lucky word would have come out
No,
too
I
often.
don't think so either.
Yeah, they'd have been eulogizing and whatever. Yeah, come in quickly. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, mate. It's exactly that, isn't it? You know, it would have been down as unbelievable character if Man City come back in the way we done. You know, Manchester United had Fergie time for a reason because it happened that often over so many years. You know, Liverpool, I'm sure, I can't think off the top of my head, but I'm sure in their recent years they've had wins out of nowhere. You know, so
it happens.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I said earlier, you know, if you're going to win leagues, you do need a bit of luck, but you also need to show unbelievable character, and you need to show that you don't, you know, take no for an answer, and you're not going to get beaten, and you fight absolutely until the very last whistle, which is exactly what we did.
Yeah.
And massive 3 points to stay 5 points clear.
Yeah, you're right, and I must say, obviously, for me, Reece, I said it in the stadium, he's my man in the match because he did change it. It's a massive change. Yeah. The substitution worked. But I must say as well, I thought Thomas, apart from obviously getting lost for the goal, I thought second half, Ray, I have to be honest, Thomas Partey was outstanding. I said, wow, there's levels to this. There's levels to this in terms of how a midfield player operates, whether you talk about 6 or an 8. He was, for me, in that second half, I thought he was different class.
Yeah, very much so. Like I say, he did. Was it Thomas Partey? He said, sorry.
Yeah, Thomas Partey.
So, yeah, slightly cut out. Yeah, yeah, he did have his moments. Like I say, he did concede the free kick that led to the corner, that led to the goal, and he was, you know, marking Senesi that scored. But offensively and how we controlled the game, Thomas Partey is different gravy, isn't he?
Honestly,
and he's so important for us. Like I say, Jorginho come in and done a really great job in Partey's absence. Shows he can be a great deputy, and when we need to rest Partey or if Partey's not available, he can come in and he can do a good job. That's what we need. But Thomas Partey, if he's fit, firing, Arsenal always have a chance of winning any game.
Yeah, 100%. I just hope. I don't know. We'll probably have to check it in the week in terms of fitness progress in regards to Nketiah and Trossard. I hope it's not too serious because Trossard's actually he's been brilliant since he's come to us. He's really positive signing, man. So Arsenal fan Jerry, he is 28. I mean, not else much to say, but yeah, hopefully they're not too serious injuries. But yeah, Ray, who's your player in the match? It's a pretty stupid question, but
it had to be Reece Nelson, didn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable.
I mean, shout out to Aaron Ramsdale.
Yeah.
From my memory, 3 outstanding saves. You mentioned that one in the first half.
Yeah.
But he made some real crucial saves at times. I thought Gabriel, even though he conceded 2 goals and they were poor goals, I thought Gabriel was really great again. Obviously, Ben White come on and really changed the game. Yeah, and Thomas Partey from a offensive aspect, I think was brilliant. Like I say, just defensively, he just needs to sharpen up a little bit there. But Reece Nelson comes on, changed the game, boy from Hale End, and assists 1 and scores the crucial winner. Yeah. And that Reece Nelson goal might even be played for years and years to come. You know, I can imagine watching Premier League years in 10, 15, 20 years time and seeing that one go in. So yeah, fair play to him.
It's like I said yesterday, man, good points, man. Like that win for me wasn't just about sending a message to City, it was about sending a message to the Premier League. That how serious this Arsenal team are, and they shouldn't be taken lightly. Great stuff by Ian Wright in his Instagram story. And the match of the day, I was crying. I could just see him, the way he was just smiling in that chair, man.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, man. Big up to the people in the chat. Thanks for your interaction on the Sunday morning, man. The morning after the afternoon before. Incredible, absolutely incredible. What was I going to say? Going to finish up with one more thing, but before I come back to it, if you don't know what to do, if you don't know what to do by now, people, this is what you should do. There you have it, people. Surround little mini intro into subscribing to Albert JTV. So yes, like I say, people, audio listeners, the music is just there for a reason. Don't get alarmed. But yeah, Ray, I want to finish up on something. People in the chat, people that have subscribed to my channel for quite a while know that I'm quite forthright on certain things, and I'm not a person to sort of stay silent or to address things slightly, but that's just me. I have my platform. I'm going to speak on it. Ray, in the time you've known me and people that obviously watch my channel, and I'll clip it and I'll put this out, is you learn a lot as a YouTube content creator with people's motives, their reasons for why they do it. And I'm a great believer in people. I'm a great believer, Ray, and people watching this, is that there's a difference between someone supporting you and people acting like they support you. That's become very, very apparent in the last year, and actually throughout my time doing this YouTube thing. Not everybody wants the best for you. Not everybody's sincere. That maybe some people say that's just life, but one thing with me is, look, I always say this, and it's very important for me to say this, because as much as I enjoy content creating, setting up thumbnails, streams, getting guests to come on, who give up their time, because it is their free time, to come on my channel and to voice their opinions, which I appreciate, because they give me the time and show me the respect and whatever. But one thing is, one thing I don't like is liars. The big difference. I'm a big boy. I can take most things on the chin, man. I've been doing this a long time. So as Ray, you might be aware, many people, I've done a few fan cams for some certain channels, should I say. And I always say to people, look, you don't have to watch something if you don't like it. That's the first thing. My channel, smaller YouTubers, bigger YouTubers, not even just YouTube, Ray, or football, just generally, even with reality TV programs. There's some programs I watch, people will be horrified that I watch them, but I love them. But which I'm not going to go into detail. Yeah, but yeah, you don't have to. And with me, like, for example, Ray, obviously, I saw me do the fan cam yesterday for AFTV. Yeah. And I saw a comment, and I thought, obviously, the person must know me, innit? Because I'm thinking that's a bit of a random thing to put as a comment. So obviously, the person follows me on the socials. I'm thinking to myself, so basically the comment said, oh, apparently I was just slag off AFTV, and he was a nobody before he came onto our podcast. And I thought to myself, what's wrong with people, man? Like, because the person that said that, right, I've not had a conversation with them since November 2021. And Ray, remind me, what's the date today?
Oh, now you're asking. It's definitely 2023, 4th of March, something like that.
6th of March, yeah. So it makes me laugh, man. Like, people that I've not had a conversation with in that length of time. And by the way, when I say conversation, not phone conversation, not having a pint, not having a Coca-Cola in the pub. I mean a conversation in terms of a Twitter DM. And you put a comment that's just a blatant lie. Like, why? Like, I get it, man. When you put yourself out there, or you're a bit more noticed, I get it. Not everybody's gonna cyanize your halo, as I like to say. But just don't lie. That's all I ask. Just don't lie. You don't have to watch me. Go and watch somebody else's channel. And what I'll finish up and say, Ray, I might come back to you a little bit, is Arsenal are going for their first league title since 2004. Some of our fan base have never seen Arsenal go for a league title. Put all your energy, put all your eggs into one basket, whether it be content creating, talking about Arsenal, or going to the games, or watching them on TV. Concentrate on that instead of putting comments which are blatant and false lies. What's the point? Life is too short. The last 2 and a bit years of COVID should have taught you that. So yeah, little old Albert, who has got a YouTube channel and has a 2.5 minute fan cam on FTV, in the nicest possible way, do me a favor. Ray, come back in quickly before we wrap up.
Yeah, well, exactly that, innit? Yeah, if you don't like something, you don't have to watch it. That's all I'd say. And yeah, listen, as you just alluded to there, Arsenal having probably the best season since the Invincibles.
There you go.
Let's just worry about that.
Yeah, 100%, mate. You couldn't have put it better. It's true. There's bigger things to worry about. Listen, touch wood, and I've got wood somewhere. That Arsenal can see this through, because it's going to be hella scenes, man. I've said to people, look, whatever you do for a job, wherever you live, obviously, Borgie, my Australian brother, it'd be a bit difficult for you to come, but listen, make provisions, because if Arsenal continue to do this, it will come home. But listen, we touch wood, we go game by game, but make your provisions now for a couple of days. But yeah, like I said, big up to people in the chat.
I've already told my boss that I'm not going to be in for a week after if Arsenal do win it, because I'll just not have the capacity to do work. So he knows.
Yeah. No, well, big up to you. Big up to people in the chat. Some people I've seen recently. So Matthew, you come in the chat. Leanne, thank you. Brenny, my guy, thank you, man. Yeah, smash the like button, like I say, people. Actually, obliterate the like button. Listen, man, we got a big win yesterday, man. We're still on cloud 9, 10, 11, 13, whatever cloud it is. But yeah, incredible, man. But yeah, man, we move on to, we've got Sporting Lisbon and Fulham are our impending fixtures. Arsenal need to pick it up a little bit defensively, a bit more better concentration. Fulham's going to be tough. I think they're 7th in the league. They've had a fantastic season. Marcus Silva's got them playing fantastic football. Got some good players, Mitrovic, Paulinho, Solomon, experiencing Tim Ream at the back. I can't believe he's still playing. But yeah, people, me and Ray are out. Ray, tell people where they can find you before we go, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks again for having me, and listeners, thanks again for listening. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the Twitter handle is at Ray_Kasim, just there. And yeah, like I say, days like yesterday when we win in such dramatic fashion and there's such joy, it's absolutely a pleasure to be on Twitter. So come follow me.
You don't say that too often, trust me.
I don't say that too often.
Yeah, big up to Ray, man, my brother from another mother, man. People go and follow, man. Fantastic footballing opinions. And obviously, your host, Albert JTV, on this Sunday morning yet again. Yes, if you haven't subscribed already, do that. And obviously, most importantly, hit the notification bell for when my content does come out. But yeah, over and out, Arsenal, fantastic win yesterday, 5 points clear at the top. We moved to Sporting Lisbon and Fulham. Come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you Gunners.